All right, so today we're going to finish, or we're going to start the middle part of section 5.3, which is 5.3 part 2, and we're going to look at cases 2 and 3. Okay, can someone remind me, how did we solve systems yesterday? What method are we using? Elimination. So remember, the goal with elimination is you get rid of letters. They get they eliminate themselves. So elimination. How should the equations look when they get set up? Like, should they be y equals mx plus b? See some people saying, no, y equals mx plus b is when you're graphing. How do our equations want to look like we did in the warm-up? Chris? Yep.
X and y and then equals the number.
Right. You want your equation to have the x, then you can have a plus or a minus, the y equals, and then a number. So you could have something like 3x minus 2y equals 4. That's what you want your equations to look like. And how many equations are you always going to have? 2. You're always going to have 2, and you want everything lined up in columns. X is in the first column, y is in the second column, number in the third column. So to do situation 1, what are we looking for? That's the 3 things. Same what, different what. Yep.
Letter, sign, number, right?
Same letter,
Sign.
same number, different sign. Yep. Same letter, same number, different sign. If you said variable, that's the same thing. Same letter, same variable. All right? And that automatically happened. We didn't have to do any multiplication. All right? So just a reminder on situation 1. Okay? What are we looking for in situation 1? Look back at your guided notes from yesterday. Tell me, what am I looking for? Yep.
The same number, same letter, and different sign.
Same number. You guys already have this, so you don't need to write it again. Same letter. Different sign. Okay. Now, what does it say under the what to do for case 1? Yusuf?
Add the remaining values.
Yes. Add remaining values vertically. Now, when you do that, what happens? One of 2 things is going to happen. When you add the remaining values vertically, what happens?
You get like a number variable equals a number that you want.
Right, one of the variables is gone. So either the x variable gets eliminated or the y value gets eliminated. One of the 2. Now, if both of them got eliminated at the same time, that would be kind of like a special case. Not sure we're going to get into that. Usually it's just going to be 1. All right, so now you guys are all getting the guided notes. On there, you have a box for situation 2 and 3. Those are the 2 cases we're going to do today. Okay? So I already showed you how the chart is going to look a little different. It's going to have like an extra box on it. That box is going to have a number in it. It's going to tell you what you have to multiply an equation by. Kind of like we did in the warm-up yesterday. But right here, this is still important.
And on your thing, guys, you're going to say today we'll look at systems with situations 2 and 3. So our chart will look a little different because we have to, the first blank you write multiply, but then you write still make sure the equations are lined up. That's the first thing you're going to write in your notes today.
So remember, lined up means you get the x's in a column, y's in a column, numbers in a column. Oh, it's bad. You can do it.
Better? You happy with that?
Okay, did everybody have the, still writing the bold part?
Okay, you saw those pens underneath, that's correct? Yeah. Grab them. Good job.
So what I'm showing you, I think I already showed you guys this, but that's the difference between the template, okay? Right here. That's it. And that's as complicated as the template ever gets. Like, we can use this template for the rest of the week now. So on the test, when you have the simple problems, the situation 1, you're going to see a template like the top one. It's already printed on the test for you. When you have anything other than situation 1, situation 2, 3, 4, or 5, you're going to see this template. It's going to have the little extra boxes in it. So those boxes are basically there to tell you it's not situation 1. It's situation 2, 3, or 4, or 5.
So like Mr. Hager said, right, we have these boxes, right? So that's one thing that's different, right? Why, does anybody know why those boxes are there? Why we put them there? Does anybody know what operation we're gonna have to use today to get close? Well, yeah, we're gonna have to put a number in one of these boxes. Remember yesterday in the warm-up, we had you like do a distributive property, put to all 3 terms, even a number after the equal sign. That's why we did that, because we're gonna be doing that today. We're gonna put a number. We're only gonna multiply in one of the equations, not both, just in one. Right? And it all depends on what situation it is. Situation 2 or situation 3. And on I posted it yesterday on Google Classroom. We have the chart. That's going to be your reference sheet for the week. All right. So if you want to go on there at some point today and print it off, you can write in the first 3 situations. You just won't have 4 and 5 because we won't get to those till tomorrow. That's really the only thing you need for reference for the test on Friday, is that. So if you want to save yourself a little work tomorrow night for homework, you can start filling it out tonight.
All right, so situation 2, all right? So this is where, I'll just show you guys what you're kind of looking for. You have a single positive variable in both equations. That's like this right here. Now, the reason we don't call that situation 1 is because we have the same letter, right? Same number in front of the y's, but the signs aren't different, right? We need different signs. So how do we get different signs there? Well, that's under the what to do. So what to do is you have to multiply everything in one of the equations. Which one? Doesn't matter. Try to pick the one that looks the simplest. Multiply everything in one of the equations by -1. What that's going to do when you multiply everything by -1 is it's going to change the sign of everything, including this sign right there. It's going to turn it from a positive into a negative. And then we're going to have what we did yesterday. So that's the extra step. You have to multiply everything in one of the equations by -1.
And again, when you look at when you get your whole reference sheet, guys, it's kind of like a checklist. You always obviously want to look for same number, same letter, different sign first. That's the easiest one. There's no multiplication, right?
So let's do that right here. Do we have same letter, same number, different sign?
Yes.
Okay, what letters are the same?
X and Y.
Those are
And I'm
ones.
saying what's attached generally. Is that the same? Like the numbers attached to them, are they the same? The signs attached to them, are they the same or different?
No, they're not.
No, we got same letter, right? Y and Y.
Yeah.
What number is in front of the Y's?
1.
1. Same number. Are the signs different?
No.
No. So this is not situation 1.
I mean, you're always going to have X and Y. It's a system. You're always going to have those. I mean, for what we do, we always use X and Y. You're always going to have them. It depends on. You're always going to have the same. You're always going to have the same letter. This depends on what the numbers are and what the signs are. You want the signs to be different, the numbers to be the same.
So now I have to get different signs, right? I have same letter, positive variable. So what am I supposed to do to one of these equations? What does it say to do? For situation 2.
Multiply everything by 1.
Not quite. Multiply everything by what? I can't hear you. You might have been right, I'm not sure.
Multiply one equation by -1.
Yes, multiply everything by -1. All right, so let's set it up and show you how it's going to work. Now, are these equations lined up the way we want them? Is the format with the columns, the x's, the y's, the numbers, are they lined up the way we like? What do you think, Gigi? So when we did that in the notes a minute ago, Chris told us the format we were looking for. Can you remind us again, Chris? What's the setup we're looking for?
X, Y, and then the number.
Yeah, exactly. The x, the y, and then the number on the other side. Are these equations set up that way? You got the x, you got the y, you got the number on the other side. Yes, they are. So we can copy them down right now. There's no rearranging we have to do.
Do all your rearranging outside the template first, then once you have everything rearranged, then you bring it inside the box.
There's my first one. There's my second one. Now, the what to do. Multiply everything in the equation by -1. That's what you use the boxes for. You put the number in the box that you're going to multiply the equation by. So we just said -1. We can pick. Do you guys want to multiply everything in the top by -1 or everything in the bottom?
You're not wrong, either way.
Yeah, I like the top because when you do that, you're going to end up making a lot of other things positive, right? That's just what's going to happen, right? So what we're going to do, I'm just going to draw these arrows so you remember to do it. Now, are we going to multiply anything in the bottom equation? Under the what to do, does it say to multiply in both equations or in one equation? Only one. So the other equation, you can just copy it over. 4x plus y equals 2. No, you could. Yeah, you could put 1, but you don't even need to. You wouldn't be wrong.
If you want to cross out, like put a little line through that box, you can do that too. So you know you don't have to multiply anything. But like Donovan said, if you want to put a 1 in there, it's not going to change anything. Everything will be exactly the same.
Right. That's basically what you did. So now let's do this out. Bethany, what's -1 times -x? Positive x. Yep. Good. How about Brady? What's -1 times positive y?
What's a positive times a negative? Negative. Alright, so this stays up with a negative now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Negative what? -1 times positive y. -1y or just -1? Yes.
Equals, and now this is the part some people forget. You also have to do the number on the other side of equal sign. Natasha, what's -1 times -3? Positive what?
Positive negative. Positive 3.
Positive 3. Okay. So now we've got the equation set up. Now this from here, it's basically what you did yesterday.
And it's a little, as far as like Mr. Hager said, you're going to obviously do the multiplication where you're going to multiply by in the little box. Yesterday, you did all like your addition in the first box. Today, we're going to do today and the rest of the week, we're going to do our addition vertically in the middle box, along with our division in the middle box. So you're doing 2 things in that middle box because you're multiplying.
So we multiplied in the top equation. Now, what letter did I eliminate? I'm just going to write it on this little blank.
Y.
Yeah, we just eliminated
Now
y.
guys, that little bottom piece where it says multiply top or bottom, if you don't fill that out, that's okay too. It's not, I mean, we're just showing you, this may help you out to see what you're eliminating. If you don't circle top or bottom and put the letter you're eliminating, that's okay.
So -y plus y, gone. Now we got to add what's left. How about, Melanie, if I add x and 4x, what do I get?
5x.
Yep, you get 5x. And how about, Laurel, if I add 3 and 2?
5.
Get 5. And David, my last step here to get x by itself.
Divide by 5.
Perfect. Divide by
Yeah,
5.
this piece is a little different where you're doing the addition vertically and the division in the same box. We didn't do that yesterday. It's a little different.
So how about Nigeli, what does x equal? 1.
Yes.
There we go. So now we got x. And now the last box is exactly the same.
Yeah.
So I have to still find what letter? Still have to find y. I'm just going to write down what I have to find. And now I have to pick an equation to plug back into. Top or bottom? Doesn't matter which one. Bottom? You said which one?
I said the top.
The top? Either way, doesn't matter. Yeah, we can do, do the top, I guess.
User, why do you say it's easier?
Because you can just plug in.
Yeah, I mean, there's a negative attached to the x, but there's no like number you have to multiply by.
Yeah.
So Yusuf, what's that top equation going to be when I fill in the 1?
What did you do? That group equation?
Yep, the equation that I'm going to solve for y.
Oh, so negative.
Negative.
Not negative x.
Huh?
Not negative x.
Oh, x, right.
No, x is gone.
You put a number in that.
Oh, yeah. 1.
There you go.
So you go ahead, tell me the whole thing.
So it's a negative 1
Yep.
plus y
Good job.
equals negative 3.
There we go. And now we just have one step to get y by itself. Paige, what's the one step I have to get y by itself? Yep, plus 1. And Haley, that means y equals how much? Not 2, that'd be 3 minus 1. This is negative 3 plus 1. Negative 2. There we go. And now we've got x and we've got y.
And guys, if that was a multiple choice question on the test on Friday, just understand it's going to be written like we did last academic week as a coordinate, like 1 comma negative 2.
Yep, you could write it that way too. Any question on that? So this was the extra step right there. Multiplying by negative 1. Hey, let's try one more of those, and then we'll do our last situation. And then that'll be it. All right. First thing I usually look for are the equations lined up. You always want to check for that first.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. X's, Y's, numbers. Don't try to figure out what case it is until you do that first. Get the X's, the Y's, and the numbers lined up. Since they're lined up, where can I put them?
Down to the bottom.
Yep. X minus 3y equals 18. X plus 5y equals 2. All right, check our cases in order. Case 1. What am I looking for in case 1? 3 things.
2 things that are the same, 1 thing that's different.
Looking for the same variables,
Yep, same letter,
different sign,
different sign,
and the same letter again.
same number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I have what we just said? Same letter, same number, different sign.
In either variable there.
No, I don't. So this is not case 1.
Yeah, because the x's are 1 and 1, and they're both positive. And then the y's are negative 3. You have different signs, but different numbers too, so that doesn't work.
So case 2, single positive variable in both equations. Do I have a single positive variable in both equations? Yes, which variable? X. There we go, right there. So that tells me now what to do. So Dylan, under the what to do for step 2, what does it say?
Multiply everything in one equation by negative 1.
Exactly. Multiply everything in one equation by negative 1. Which equation do you want to pick? It doesn't matter.
The bottom one.
Bottom one. Okay. So we're going to multiply by negative 1 there. So he picked the bottom equation. And what letter is going to be eliminated once we do that?
Which variable?
X.
Yeah, x is going to be gone. So top equation, copy it over. X minus 3y equals 18. Bottom equation. Can somebody tell me, once I do this, what the whole bottom equation is going to be?
Once I multiply by -1.
Multiply -1 times 2 is a -3.
Everything. Yep.
-1 times 5y is -5y.
Okay, that's the set. Let's go right in order.
That's fine.
Yep.
X would just be -x
Negative x,
and then
and then -2. Now from here, what do I do next? Add vertically. Yep. Add vertically. So we already said x's are going to eliminate. Positive x, negative x. That's 0x. It's gone. How about when I add my y's? How about
I mean, not multiplying and dividing it.
how about Miguel? What do I get when I add those y's up?
You get -8.
we have to go.
Anything else?
Y.
Yep. Negative ay. And then when I add 18 and -2, how about David?
16.
16. Good. Now we're ready to do our last step. Catherine, what would my last step be here? Yep. Perfect. Divide by -8. Divide by -8. That's gone. So what do I get for y? -2. Okay. Nathan, what do I have to do? What do I have to do now that I have y?
You can plug in y through x,
Yep. Plug in.
2 into x, -2 into x,
So what is -2 equal to? What letter?
y,
It's equal to y. So you're going to plug it in for
y,
y. Which equation do you want to plug it into?
top.
Top? Yeah, sure. We can plug it into the top.
There's really no wrong choice here for what you plug it in for.
So we have x, and then we have -3 times -2. That's what we're filling in right here. -3 times -2 equals 18. How about Savannah? -3 times -2. Positive or negative? Yep. +6. And how about Ellie? My last step to get x by itself.
Divide 6 from no. Subtract 6 from both sides.
Yep, good. -6. So what do I get for Ryan? What do I get for x here? 12. Yeah, good job. So x is 12.
Now, someone tell Mr. Hager and I, how, if that was multiple choice, what would the answer look like? How would it be written? Those are multiple choice. How would it be written as a, what would the answer be written like? Karen?
-2, 12.
Careful.
Oh, 12, -2.
12, -2. Yeah. So let's understand that once you solve, let's make sure the x is going to be first, the y is going to be second.
So connection to what we did before. If you were to draw both of these out, what shapes would they be when you draw them? Like if you were to put these in y equals mx plus b form and actually graph them, they would look like,
What would they be?
what's y equals mx plus b when you draw it? Is it a circle? Line. Yeah, looks like a line. So this is a location. What would happen at that spot if you drew both of these lines? It's a very special spot. It's not just any random coordinate. Exactly. It's where the two lines intersect. Okay. That's exactly what would happen. Yep. We're just finding where they would intersect without actually graphing it, because this is a lot less precise. Like you don't need a ruler or anything like that. All right. So situation 3. I thought they were calling down at 8:45.
All right. So again, when you look at when you do the homework, when you do the test on Friday, again, we're just kind of pulling out each situation, but on the reference sheet, it's gonna look just like on the reference sheet. It's gonna look just like this, except there's gonna be 5 spots. So that way you'll have every single situation on one piece of paper. All right. So we've done situation 1, same number, same letter, different sign. The easiest, right? If we don't have that, we go to situation 2. Single variable and both single positive variable in both equations. All right. If we don't have that, now we go to situation 3. We have a single variable, an x or a y only, in one equation. Like, say we had x plus 2y, 7, something like that, right? I have a single variable in one of the equations, right here, right? I may have a single variable in both. You'll see that when we do the examples. Then you'll have a choice to make. But if I have something that looks like that, all right, I'm going to multiply everything in the equation with the single, so the equation has a single x or y by the opposite of what's attached to that variable in the other equation. Meaning, if I was looking at this one, right, x is my single variable. I look in the other equation. What's attached to that variable, x, is 3. I would multiply everything in that top equation by -3. That's what I mean. I want to multiply everything by the opposite of what's attached to the same variable in the other equation. I'm looking at single variable's x, look at x in the other equation, 3 is attached, multiply everything by -3. Right? So this time I don't have a single variable in both, I only have it in one. And you may have a single x in the top equation and a single y in the bottom. That's okay. Then you can decide which one you want to use. You're not wrong using either one. It'll make a little bit more sense when we go through this example. Right? And this will be the last situation that we cover today. All right? Then we'll finish off tomorrow with 4 and 5. All right? So we got a single x or y. I'll just scroll up a little bit, guys, so people need to finish writing this down. I'll leave it up there so you can. All right? So let's go through. All right. So, before I worry about these situations, right? Before I say, okay, situation 1, situation 2, situation 3, what do I have to make sure of? Ellie?
That the letters are lined up.
Everything's lined up, right? X's over X's, Y's over Y's, numbers over numbers. Alex, do we have that?
Yeah.
All right. So since I have that, what can I do?
Copy it down.
Yeah, put it in the box, right? Start the template. X plus Y equals 2. 2x plus 7y equals 9. What's the matter, Yusuf? Are you worried because they're both single variables?
No.
Okay. So everything's lined up. I started off my template. So let's go through. Yusuf.
Are they not supposed to be the same sign? Like they're really different.
They're not supposed to be the same sign.
Yeah, they're both addition.
That's okay.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. You can have that.
Okay.
All right. Because then you'll see. Situation 1. What am I looking for in situation 1?
Different variables, same number.
Same. One more thing that's the same.
Same.
Letter, right? Good, Nicole.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look, right? X. I have a 1x, I have a 2x. That's not going to work. My y's. I got a 1y, I got a positive, and I got a 7y. Not going to work. Move on. Situation 2. Someone tell me what's situation 2. What am I looking for? We just did it. What am I looking for in situation 2? If you have to look in your notes, that's fine. Chris?
Same number, same variable.
No, that's for situation 1. In situation 2, I'm going to have to do something to get it to be that. Same number, same letter, different sign. What am I looking for? Gigi?
Single Positive variable in both places.
Single in both, right? So that means an X and an X with nothing attached in both, or a Y and a Y. Do I have that, Gigi? No, I got an X here, but I got a 2 attached to it here. I got a 7 here, and I got a Y here, but I got a 7 attached to it there. Not situation 2, this isn't it. So now I'm on the new stuff, right? Situation 3. What's situation 3? Nicole?
Single variable X or Y only in one equation.
Do I have that, Nicole? Do I have a single X and a single Y in one of the equations?
Yes.
Yeah, I have both, right? I got a single X and I got a single Y. All right? Which one do we want to eliminate? The X or the Y? It doesn't matter. You're not wrong using either one. You have choices here. What do we want to eliminate? The X or the Y? Mary?
Yeah.
Let's use the X. Okay, so we're going to eliminate X. What do I have to, Mary, for the top equation, what do I have to do?
Multiply by negative 2.
Multiply the top. Like the direction said, like Mary just told us, she said multiply the top equation by negative 2. Because when you look at the situation, it says for situation 3, it says what to do. It says X, right? X is a single variable. Look at X in the other equation. Look at what's attached to it. 2. Multiply the top equation by the opposite of that number. The opposite of 2 is negative 2. That's why I'm multiplying the top equation by negative 2. Because that's going to eliminate it. Alright? Now remember, I multiply everything, even the number after the equal sign. So when I multiply negative 2, right? What's the first? Now the bottom equation, I'm not doing anything to it, right? So what can I do?
Move it.
Just bring it over, right? Don't try to do anything. Don't do anything else. 2x plus 7y equals 9. Now, if you do your multiplication first and put it here, and then the equation you weren't doing anything to, you didn't have to multiply, you did that after, that's fine too. There's no wrong way. It's all how your brain works. If you want to do that after you multiply, that's perfectly fine. You're not wrong. All right? So, that top equation, right? What's my first term going to be when I multiply by negative 2? What's my first term going to be? Allie?
So like, there's a 1 in front of both X and Y.
Yes, correct.
It'd be negative 2 times 1.
So it'll be negative 2 times 1, which is?
Negative 2.
Negative 2. What needs to be with that negative 2, Ellie?
X.
X.
Negative 2x.
Negative 2x, all right. Jake, how about my next term? So Ellie just told us negative 2 times a single x is negative 2x. How about a negative 2 times a single y? Think about it. Negative 2 times a single x was negative 2x. How about negative 2 times a single y? Negative. Nice job, Jake. Very good. Negative 2y. Last thing I'm going to put is what? What's the last number I'm going to write? Someone tell me. G?
Negative 2 times 2.
Which is?
Negative 4.
Nice job, buddy. Negative 4. Perfect. Again, what's being eliminated? What variable? X, right? We put it here. Like I told you before, if you don't fill this in, it's not the end of the world. If you don't do this bottom part, that's okay. Might be helpful just to remind yourself. That cancels out. Under here, right? What's the first thing I'm going to write? Someone tell me. Someone raise their hand and tell me. Nicole? 5y. How'd you get that, Nicole? Yeah. 2y, negative 2y plus 7y is 5y. Or work backwards. 7y minus 2 is 5. Alright? What's my other term going to be on the other side of the equal sign? 5, right? Negative 4 minus 9 is 5. I'm sorry, negative 4 plus 9 is 5. You can work backwards as well. 9 minus 4 is 5. Bethany, what's the last thing I have to do for this part? Nice job. Do you know what I get when I do that? Y equals 1. Nice. Dylan, what do I do now? What do I do now? I've solved for y, so what do I do now? Okay, so I gotta solve for x. So how do I do that? I gotta do something with that 1. Okay, Jake?
Plug it in for X.
Plug it in for what? Plug it in for what? Jake, which one do you want to use? Top or bottom?
Top.
Yeah. Why did you pick the top, Jake? Are you not sure or just?
I really am not sure.
Okay, that's fine. Well, now tell me what to write. When I plug in, I'm going to plug in 1 for y. So what am I going to write if I plug it in this top equation?
X plus Y.
X plus
1
Yeah.
equals 2.
Nice job, Jake. Me personally, I agree with Jake. Right? I would pick the top equation too because y is by itself and it's positive. It's going to eliminate a step. I'm not going to have to multiply the 1 by the number attached to y. If you pick the bottom, that's okay too. You're not wrong. I think the top one in this case would be a better choice because there's nothing attached to the y. Jake?
Also, I know what to do.
Jake's on it. Go ahead, buddy. You got it today, buddy.
We have to subtract 1 by each side, and then we make it 1 x equals 1.
Jake. Dynamite. You ate your Wheaties this morning, didn't you? Alright, there's my answer. Alright? Situation 3. Questions? We'll do one more. Alright, everybody has this? I'll give you guys like a few seconds to get it written down. Melanie?
Sorry, can you just explain again where the -2 came from?
Okay. So again, this is what I'm going through. I'm looking at my list, right? Situation 1, same number, same letter, different sign. I don't have it, right? Because there's a 2 attached to, there's a 2 down here, there's no 2 here.
No, the -2 in this box. In the box.
Right here? This?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. I'm going to go through situation by situation that I've done so far. So situation 1, same letter, same number, different sign. I have a 2 here, I don't have a 2 there. So I don't have the same number. I have a 7 here, I have a 1 there. I don't have the same number. So situation 1, not going to be able to do that for this one. Situation 2, single variable, the same single variable in both equations. Meaning x here, x there. No, there's a 2 attached. Y here, no single y there, there's a 7 attached.
Yeah, I understand why it's there. Before I had it as a -1.
Alright,
So why is it?
so because you're thinking of situation 1, meaning situation 2 rather. There'd just be a y there. Then I could multiply the top and the bottom by -1 to cancel out the y's. But here, I have a number, I'm looking at situation 3, so I'm looking at the number attached, so I want to eliminate x. Look at the number attached to x in the other equation. It's 2, right? So that means I want to multiply the other equation by the opposite of that number, and that'll make the x's eliminate. You could also multiply this top equation by -7 to eliminate the y's. Either choice is correct. I would pick -2 because it's a smaller number. It's easier to work with. But if you want on the test, if you did -7, that works too. It's not wrong. All right? Good. Does that make sense? Again, so all you're doing on your chart is just going through to see look at the problem you're given and see what it looks like. And it's going to tell you on your chart what you have to do. All right? So this one, so be sure that you align like terms. So make sure you line it up. X's over X's, Y's over Y's, numbers over numbers. All right? So let's look at this one.
Oh my god.
So we already know based on the directions, the little note there, that this system is not lined up. Which equation in the system is not lined up? Top or bottom? Jake?
Top.
Okay, thank you. Alright, so Jake said that the top equation is not lined up. Someone tell me what I have to move to get it lined up. Donovan?
-4x.
What do I do?
You
Add 4x. Okay. So now with everything, that's a 4, it's really bad, but. So now Donovan, with everything lined up, what am I going to write over here? Yeah.
negative y
4x negative y
equals 7.
equals 7. Now it's lined up, so I can take it and put it in here. Ms. Hager's going to shrink it down and do it. But make sure on your notes, make sure you copied both equations so you can see how we lined it up. All right. Now they're lined up. So now we're going through situation. Just like do this on your homework tonight. Go through situation by situation. What do I have? What am I looking at? What's it look like? So first situation. Somebody remind me what it is.
Check for the
Same number, same letter, different sign.
Say, and it's and we talked about earlier in the notes. Look at the template. It's got the two little squares. You know it's not going to be situation 1, right? If we get the two little squares and the box in the middle is a little bit bigger, you know it's not going to be situation 1. And like Nicole just told us, same number, same letter, different sign. All right. I got a 4. I got a 5. They're different numbers. Not going to work. I got a 1 and I got a 3. Different numbers. Not going to work. Situation 2. What's it look like, Nicole?
Single positive variable.
Single in both, meaning x and x on top of each other, y and y on top of each other. Do I have it? No. I got a 4 attached to the x here. I got a 5 attached here. I got a single y, but not there. I got a positive 3 attached. See, I'm going through situation by situation to determine what I have to do to be able to solve it. So it's got to be a situation 3 because we haven't done 4 and 5 yet. So what am I looking at in situation 3? Allie?
Single variable x or y only in one equation.
Which equation has a single x or y? The top and the bottom.
Well, I know that the top has a single y.
Single y.
Single x.
There's nothing else, right?
Yes.
There's a 4 attached to the x here, a 5 attached to the x here, a 3 attached to the y here. My only single is the y. All right? So what do I do now? I've identified, I've got the single y here. What do I do to figure out how I'm going to solve this? I'm going to have to multiply because that's what those boxes are for. What am I multiplying by? So again, when it says what to do, what do the directions say? Allie?
Multiply everything in the equation with the single variable.
Okay, the top equation.
The opposite of it's attached to.
So what's attached to in the other equation, right? So basically it's saying, what's y attached to in the other equation?
3.
3, right? Okay, so it's going to be 3. Now be careful now. This is where it gets a little bit tricky. Because it says multiply by what? By the opposite. If I multiplied this by negative 3, I know the opposite of 3 is negative 3, but then it would be negative 3 times a positive y. If I did negative 3 times a positive y, what would I get?
A negative?
Negative times a negative is a positive. So you got to be careful. If the single variable is negative, you can multiply by the same exact thing that it's attached to in the other equation. Let me say it again. If the single variable is negative, multiply by the same exact thing that it's attached to in the other equation. You don't have to multiply this by a negative. Keep it as 3. What we'll do tomorrow, guys, at the beginning of the notes, is we might have you go back to today's notes and just make that little we'll add a little bit more to that, just to say if the single variable is negative, multiply by the same exact number that it's attached to in the other. So understand that one exception for situation 3. If the single variable is negative, you can multiply by the same exact number that's attached to that variable in the other equation. And we'll add that tomorrow. So I'm multiplying 3 by everything. What's my first term going to be? Someone tell me. When I multiply by 3, what's my first term going to be? Allie?
Would it be 12x?
12x, very good. How about Matt? What's my second term going to be?
Negative 3y.
Negative 3y, very good. And how about Nathan? what's my last term gonna be? 7 times.
No, 21.
Nice job. So I did the opposite this time. The last one I brought this equation I didn't multiply by anything. I brought it over first. This one, I'm bringing over last. Doesn't matter how you do it. Not multiplying by anything. I'm just gonna bring it over. 5x plus 3y equals 13. Someone remind me, what variable are we eliminating? Ellie?
Y.
Very good. I'm just gonna put that here. So if I'm eliminating y, what can I do, Ellie?
Subtract 3 from both.
Before I even do that, I'm eliminating the y, so what should I do with them?
Cross simplify.
Cross them out. Cross simplify, I like that. Alright, so now, down here, what's the first thing I'm gonna write? Someone tell me.
17x.
17x. 12x plus 5x, remember I'm doing addition vertically. 17x. On the other side, what's that term going to be?
34.
I like 34. How about the jelly? What am I going to do now?
You're gonna divide by 17.
5 by 17. Very good. Thank you, Jelly. X equals 2. All right. Which equation do we want to use? How about Natasha? Which one do you want to use, top or bottom? I don't care. Top. So what's my equation going to look like now when I have x equals 2? What am I going to write? 4 parentheses 2 minus y equals 7. So guys, and I saw somebody do it earlier, just be careful. When you're plugging in, make sure you go back to the original. Don't go to the one you multiplied by. Make sure you go back to the original. All right? 4 times 2, 8 minus y, 7. What do I do now? Ellie?
Would you subtract 8 from both sides?
I would subtract 8 from both sides.
At this time,
Alright, that's a negative sign. One more step here before I can write my answer, right? I have a negative y, so what do I have to do?
Divide by negative.
Nice job, Chris. Divide by negative 1. Y equals negative divided by a negative? Positive. Alright, that's it. So now we get, so like I said, I'll talk about that at the end. Everybody has this? Alright. Homework. Now listen, guys. Listen. Homework. All 3 situations will show up on the homework. Situation 2 and 3 we covered today, and situation 1 that we did yesterday. Alright? The reference sheet, listen, we're not going anywhere. We're staying here, so you have plenty of time to pack up. The reference sheet is up on Google Classroom. All the reference sheet is this week is it's just a chart of all the situations. Because each day we're doing a couple, today we did 2, tomorrow we'll do 2. You can put them all on one sheet of paper. Again, that's the only thing you can use on the test on Friday. So like I said, it's up. You don't have to fill it out, but I think especially for this test, it's a lot of information. It might be in your best interest so you have everything. But you're not required to. But you can start filling it out tonight if you want. Myself and Mr. Hager are after school on Thursday, tomorrow. If anyone wants to stay to go over this stuff. Again, don't wait till Friday morning. Come in like, I really have no idea what we did this week. We can't help you then, guys. We can help you today, we can help you tomorrow. Not a lot we can do on Friday. So if you need help, you're struggling with this stuff, I think Mr. Hager will be after today for a little bit too. Or no? No. All right.
We'll hold tomorrow.
We'll both be after tomorrow. So you have your choice who you want to stay with.
Oh yeah, tomorrow is Thursday, that's good.
Last thing, you're going to get your progress reports on Friday in 9th period. All right?